East Podcast, WATP.
It's a show hosted by Rocco and Sabino, and they have Mario Bosco on there. This YouTube channel has 142,000 subscribers. And this video that we're going to watch featuring the Rizzler from 30 days ago has 27,000 views on it. Now, of course, the Rizzler, if you don't know, is a TikTok sensation. He's a pudgy little boy who makes faces and mugs for the camera and is teamed up with the Costco guys.
Can I ask a stupid question?
That's all you ask.
He's not a brother of Big Justice?
No, he's not in the family.
But they live together? They all live in Florida near each other and collab a lot?
They're in New York.
I thought they were in Florida.
No, he lives on Staten Island. And the Costco guys, I assumed, are living in New York because they all have those like Yankees things. Oh, okay. Well, then maybe they just travel to get these.
I went down a rabbit hole today.
Oh, okay. So maybe you know more about this than I do.
Yeah, so then he would have to fly in to collab all the time. Okay.
Well,
this is odd. All right. I assume they were brothers because they're all just like fat look-alike.
Yeah.
Correct.
Got that right.
Yeah, and actually, good thing for Big Justice that the Rizzler's around because he makes Big Justice look skinny in comparison.
Yes. Right.
Actually works out well for him. I remember when they were all on Jimmy Fallon, and I went, holy shit, Big Justice let himself go. I was like, oh, that's the Rizzler. Okay. I mistake him for a second there.
Yeah, I just went down some hole where they said like they had initially like used to get kicked out of their Costco in Florida.
Okay.
So maybe they moved since then. I don't know. But like apparently the dad's been trying to do TikTok stuff forever. He used to do like real estate TikToks and stuff.
Yeah, so. And he was a pro wrestler, and coming up on the 23rd, his AEW debut, I was talking to Vinny about that. I don't know if it was on a show or behind the scenes. Probably behind the scenes. The guy that he's wrestling in the AEW is the guy who trains the wrestlers. So he's the guy who works with all the amateurs that come in. So it's so stupid because obviously you have to be a really good wrestler to wrestle someone who's an amateur and doesn't know what they're doing to make them look good.
Right.
The guy who's getting his ass kicked is always the more talented guy when it comes to professional wrestling. They're the ones selling it.
It'd be like doing an act off with Mario Bosco. It's like, was he in The Sopranos? No. But you have to know a lot about acting to fill in for the guy who knows a lot about acting.
So wait, AJ would be standing here? Actually, just a couple feet over to the left. Okay, how about here? Yep, you got it, Mario. Thank you.
Amateur.
Got it again. Thank you. So, yeah, it turns out the guy that he's wrestling, which I will tune in for this. This is going to be hilarious. The guy that AJ from the Costco guys is wrestling is this guy who's definitely going to lose the match. He's not like a wrestler in this thing. No one cares about him. He's just a guy who's good at it and trains people. And he's like the country club's golf pro. You know, okay. every wrestling organization.
Now I understand.
That one guy. I do have to relate to you with that.
I had to be here anyway.
Right.
I was setting up the chairs regardless.
They pay me. I'm here. So either way, setting up the chairs.
He's the sound guy who's also the janitor.
Yes. Here's how you climb up onto the top rope. Oh, hold on a second. I got to set up the audio booth.
Yo, hot food in the window.
Anybody got an XLR?
Okay. So let's get started with some clips because Mario, and this happens all the time. And this is not Mario's show.
Right.
This is a different show. Growing Up Italian. This is Rocco and Sabino, and they grew up Italian. They want to talk about being Italian a lot.
Hey.
So forget about it. They say a lot. I guess that's funny for Italians. I don't know. I'm not Italian, so I don't get it. But anyway, so it starts off, and of course, Mario has no idea that the show is happening. He never does. He's always just there shooting the shit. He thinks he's just hanging out with friends for some reason, even though they're renting studio time and have a producer there.
They probably can't stand him.
Yeah, I'm sure it's expensive because they're in New York and shit. But this is what I call, sometimes there's a cold opening. This is a cold start.
So finally, he texts me. He's like, oh, Sabino's here. And I was like, okay, what am I going to do?
Were you excited I was there?
I wasn't there, so why was I be excited?
I don't know.
I was there Friday night for the cannoli eating contest.
Forget about it.
They asked me to, Sal off the boat was there. They asked him to eat cannoli. I said, bro, you just had open heart surgery. You gonna eat cannolis?
You gonna let him talk or what?
We didn't start yet. I'm waiting for him to...
Oh, we're rolling.
Oh, okay.
Well, that's a terrible way to start. Sal, hope you're doing okay, buddy.
Yeah, well, let's cut that part out. That's not...
Okay. So it starts off talking about cannoli eating contests. Like, this isn't the show? This is what you talk about normally? I thought this was your show content, cannolis and shit.
I love that also one of your thoughts before this was it has to be expensive. They're in a studio. Look at this thing.
Yeah,
This is literally there could be a Murphy bed behind a curtain.
It's not a nice building, I know. You're right. That was stupid of me to say. I like that he divulges some guy's health information, very Stuttering John-esque.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, you don't say he had that heart surgery. It's like, by the way, we're on air right now. It's like, oh, what? Oh, well, whoops. All right. So then it starts getting into petty shit because the main guy, Sabino here, just wants to get the show started. He's like, we have a guest sitting right here. You come in and just start talking to us about your day. Like, nobody cares. And it gets petty.
You want me to start or you want to start? You got mad that I wanted to start my own show.
No, because the last time you got me wind up, you, Joe, and Rocco were texting, and I'm looking at
All right, listen. Today it's about the Rizzler. It's not about you.
Oh, here he is.
Let's give it up.
There you go, baby.
So I just love the fact that Sabino just has to take over. Like, okay, whatever. That's not what we're here for right now. We've got 45 minutes. We got the fucking Rizzler here. We're going to talk to the Rizzler. Is that fine with you, Mario? Is that all right?
None of these people are likable, but I liked him for that moment.
Yes, for interrupting Mario and being like, all right, let's just do this.
Is it a green screen?
No.
Behind the guys?
Oh, is it a green screen behind the guys? I don't think so. I think
it
that's
has
painted.
a weird look and shadow when the.
Oh,
Could it be?
Yeah, you know what? Because Mario Bosco's show is also in the same room. I won't say studio again. You corrected me well. It's also in the same room.
Storage space.
And it is not there. They don't have this. Yeah.
Like zoomed in brick. So this is like an image, like a wallpaper or something. And if you look at the shadow behind the bald guy's head, I don't know their names.
Yes, you're right. That's
place is fucking ponderous, man. Ponderous, fucking ponderous.
Also, for a minute, I thought that they were going through the camera mic like so many of these shows do. I don't think they are, but the room echo is infuriating.
It is. There's nothing stopping the sound, and you hear everyone who's there with them too quite a bit. And I didn't even pull this clip, but like somebody has to bring Mario a smoothie in the middle of it. He gets into the camera angle a few times. Just like, what is going on here?
Yes. The Aaron Imholt?
Yes. He needs his energy or something. I don't know. All right. So then they finally say, Mario, will you introduce our guest, the Rizzler? Now, you tell me, do you think he introduces the guest here?
So, Mario, do you want to introduce the Rizzler?
Welcome, Rizzler, to a crazy, crazy, crazy podcast. I mean, this is fun. This is crazy. The writing is on the wall. I mean, technically, you know what I'm saying? Rocco's always laughing. Sabino's counting down the minutes to get the hell out of here, but we're good. Welcome, Rizzler. I am so excited to say that we have you today. And I really am. No jokes aside, I really am.
The offensive coordinator, you got a busted play here. And then Sanchez gets hit. The ball is loose, and it's alive.
He really fumbled that one. All right. You want to introduce our guest? Hey, you're on a crazy show. It's so crazy here. Rocco's giggling over there. What did he say at the end that was completely wrong? No jokes aside.
Right.
I'm really excited to have you here. No jokes aside.
We have you today. And I really am. No jokes aside. I really
Take that for what you mean it for.
You take that for what you mean it for. Good job.
I like how
I hope we're
Rizzler's
gonna find out.
completely
Yeah, sorry, go
unimpressed
ahead.
with him.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, the Rizzler's just like, all right, what are we doing here?
I hope we do find out how the Rizzler got his name.
Oh, that's my next clip. Are you looking at my clip package right now?
That was my favorite part of watching it. It was my favorite part.
So it turns out that like a guy who's famous for mugging at the camera on social media is not the best interview that you could get on your show. Go figure.
So, Rizzler, tell us, how did you get the name The Rizzler?
Well, my friends were just saying the Rizzler, so and then they taught me how to do the face, and I was like, oh, I should make my name The Rizzler.
Fire.
Fire. This poor guy, Sabino earned his paycheck this day. He's just like, oh boy, this is going to be a rough one.
Fire.
So this 9-year-old has to explain his origin story. Like, okay.
But like he explains it like a 3-year-old tells a story.
Right. My friend said. And
Friends around me were saying this word.
Mm-hmm.
Then I learned how to do a face. Now we've just changed stories. And then I said my name should be that word from earlier in the other story. It's like, what?
He hasn't learned the Chad Zumach method of make up a lie that's more interesting than what actually happened.
Right, yeah.
All right. So apparently the Rizzler is so famous he gets stopped for pictures a lot. And so Mario has a question that's very telling.
I took like 90 pictures at the carnival.
90?
I couldn't even go on the rides.
No?
It's crazy.
But what means more
That's
to
for a
you?
different reason.
The pictures or the rides?
The rides.
He just won the carnival.
Well, so I think Mario and the Rizzler are complete opposites.
Mario wants what
the
he's going through right now.
Yeah.
So this kid goes to an amusement park, wants to get on rides. People are like, oh, take your photo, take your photo. And he's just like, all right, but I'm getting in line over here. And Mario Bosco's first thought is, you're famous? I want to be famous. That's fucking awesome. How cool is that you're famous? This is why I hate Mario so much. He wants to be famous so fucking bad. It's annoying.
He also wishes to be a real boy.
Do you think he wants fame so bad that if you were like in line somewhere and needed to go to the bathroom and you asked him to hold your place, he'd be like, I'm great at that. I got it.
There's one thing I know how to do. It's stand in.
And he'd be like, you won't believe what I got cast in this afternoon.
Oh, yeah. That would be on his IMDb page by that night. Which we'll get into that in a moment because I did do some research on that end. Okay. Mario has a joke. It's in his stand-up act. I've seen him perform it. And so they say, hey, Mario, why don't you tell your joke to the Rizzler? You got to clean it up. You got to do the clean version of it.
That's not a good thing with me. Okay.
Cuddled. Just like
I'm like this, so because my mother hung out with Mickey.
By the way, there's somebody breathing very heavily into the microphone. That's not us. And I was trying to figure out if it's the Rizzler, like he has some serious health problems already, or it might even be
He
Rocco.
can barely talk.
That's true.
He's suffocating under his own weight.
Is that who's breathing so heavily into the mic? Like,
He's
whoever's
like
doing
on
that.
the stream?
Yes.
It's on their show?
Yeah. You hear it nonstop, this really labored breathing.
That's why I'm wondering if the camera audio is not on as well as all the mics. I know the mics are on because I watched him do this.
You know
but
what?
That doesn't mean they removed the room mic.
You know what? I think you've nailed it. Because it doesn't seem like it's anyone on screen. Because every time I'm hearing it, I see different views of different people. And there's never one person doing it. So it's probably the producer who's sitting next to the camera. Just like, get me out of here. Yeah, right. What the fuck?
That's not a good thing with me. Okay.
Cuddled. Just like
I'm like this, so because my mother
Yeah, I hear it.
hung out with Mickey Mouse, okay? They hung out with Mickey Mouse. And while they were all cracking up because they know the real reason, I'm going, thank God she didn't sleep with the 7 dwarfs. You okay?
Do you think that was funny? Like, it's a good joke?
I didn't get the joke.
One of my favorite reactions of all time. The Rizzler sits there and he goes, huh?
I was told there'd be cannoli.
And I actually, I grabbed this clip for future reference on this show.
I didn't get the joke.
Perfect. I like how Mario's face too when he gets that just rejected. Like, yeah, I thought it was
Fire.
good.
Fire.
I thought it was decent, but all right, if you say so. So then Mario's got a second joke. They go, well, tell him. And I gotta say, as much as I despise these Italian guys talking about how being Italian and eating pizza and shit nonstop, it seems like the whole purpose of them is to clown Mario to his face, and Mario's not in on the joke because that's pretty much all they're doing, which is funny. So they're like, oh, well, tell him your Sonic the Hedgehog joke.
Right. Sonic the Hedgehog joke is that people ran after me, which is true. And this was a true story. They ran after me like, oh my God, can we get a picture? We can get a picture. And I was like, yeah. I was like, do you see my TikToks? And they were like, nope. One little kid, fat bastard, jumps up and goes, we play your video game. And I was like, what? He goes, you're Sonic the Hedgehog because of the hair. You okay?
Who's doing the editing? I love whoever's editing this together because it's mwah.
Yeah, they cut over to the Rizzler who's watching the joke. He's just like, are we still going? Is that the punchline? You can't say I have a Sonic the Hedgehog joke and then the punchline is Sonic the Hedgehog.
Someone thought I looked like Sonic the Hedgehog.
Kind of spoils. Kind of spoils the whole thing, I would think.
Because of my hair.
So
I think Mario might be successful if he pretended to be a kid.
well, yeah, that's
And, like,
every movie
did-
role and TV show role is him pretending to be a kid.
Right, but if he like dressed like a little kid and like set up a set that was like a kid's room and just like did vulgar shit, like that might catch on.
That's interesting.
Doing like he's not trying anything. Like you do have a unique product,
Right.
You're a good, the look, the vibe, like all of it, and like he's doing nothing. He's like, I'll go on talk shows that nobody watches, and I'm not interesting.
Well, he did
It's like, why
explain.
not?
He did explain they used to just like in plain clothes, and then another comic that he was doing comedy with was like, you should like wear a bow tie and a suit. It'd be funny, And he's like, oh, okay. So at least he's like doing that. But I agree with you. He could be like a reverse Pee Wee Herman.
The only way him wearing a bow tie and a suit makes sense is if he's sitting on my knee pretending to be
Right.
a dummy. Like that would be funny.
Yes.
But like no, like first of all, how much do you think these little suits cost?
Oh, he broke it all down. I didn't pull this clip. And I didn't find it that interesting, but he broke it all down. The bow tie is $10 to $20. The coat is like $100. He shops at the Macy's department, the little boys Macy's department.
Okay.
Everything was so inexpensive. It's just like, oh, that's not good. I wouldn't brag about that. Spend $200 on a suit.
No, he
Jesus.
brags about saving money.
Yeah, well, that's true.
And plus, with all the pussy he pulls with it.
He is a virgin, in case you're just joining us on the
Yes,
show.
I am aware. That's the joke.
All right, so the Rizzler is a huge star. And so they say, hey, Mario, you're a big star too. You've been famous for so long. Maybe you have some advice for the Rizzler for his career.
Listen, before we get into that, give him some advice now that he's getting famous. He's getting a lot of recognition. Give him some advice because you've been in Hollywood for a lot of years now.
I say enjoy the moment that you're experiencing now. I've been in a lot of movies and TV shows, so when I went from that to becoming a stand-up comedian, I didn't want to rush to become something like a headliner fast. I wanted to enjoy the process of... What are you laughing at, Rocco?
I love that. It sounded, again, like Chad Zubak. He's just like, and I don't even want to be the headliner. I think it's better to just be the opener, to really do a lot of work and people show up because the headliner's good. It's great.
You guys are laughing. I'm not used to this. What's going on?
Right. What are you guys laughing about? I'm trying to be sincere.
Also, Chad doesn't want to be a feature at most of the clubs in the country.
Right. So he says he's on a lot of TV shows and in movies. So I looked this up. Everything he's in, he's an extra. Yeah. He doesn't have any speaking lines or anything. He might get in the shot. He's playing like a little kid or something. But in his mind, he's like this big star, this big celebrity. Surprised he doesn't have a star on the, what is it, the Walk of Fame? Because he'd pay for it. He's one of these idiots who's be like, he would fundraise $20,000.
It could even be a little one.
Yeah, right. It could be a tiny one next to someone else's. So this is what I'm talking.
Like an asterisk.
So this is an asterisk, not a star.
It's next to AJ from The Sopranos.
Yeah, right.
There you go.
No, like when they're cleaning his, they put mine in.
So this is what I'm talking about, where they're obviously just trying to humiliate Mario because they decide, like, why don't you two have a dance-off? Like, they're treating them like they're both little kids, and one of them actually is a little kid. So it's kind of funny that they do that. But they decide to have a dance-off while still being seated in their chairs.
Yeah, baby. Come on, girl. Come on.
This is a banger. You don't know the song?
I think we've seen enough from Mario. Very nice.
Baby.
You got my heart. I never want... No. Good.
Hey,
All right.
trailed off there, Mario. Do you not know the lyrics of the song you were singing?
My favorite part about that is at the beginning when he's dancing with the girl, he's going, hey, girl, come on. He's looking down at her. She's dancing underneath him. She's a shorter woman.
Right.
In his fantasy.
Dancing with a 5-year-old.
It should be like, hey, girl, I
Right.
see the moves.
So that was ridiculous. And then they start to try to interview the Rizzler. Mm-hmm. And the Rizzler is a child. You know, what are you going to talk about? Well, they want to talk about Italian food. What are your top 5 Italian foods? What are your favorites? Let's see if we can get 2. Let's see if we can figure out 2 Italian food.
Chicken bake.
They do talk a lot about chicken bake in this episode.
Let's make this one Italian a little bit, all right? I want you to give me 5 of your favorite Italian foods, but you're going to put it in the order that you like, all right?
So pizza.
Number 1.
Spaghetti meatballs.
Number 2.
Okay. Right there, it sounded like that's very offensive. You're calling spaghetti and meatballs Italian food. But all right, we'll give you a pass. What else you got?
Let's see.
Meatball sub.
You like ravioli?
Oh, yes, ravioli.
Yeah.
Number 3, ravioli.
Ravioli.
You like lasagna?
So it turns into Rocco just telling him Italian foods because he doesn't know more than 2. Pizza, spaghetti, and meatball. He's like, there's other types of pasta too. Like, okay.
Cannoli.
Cannoli. Yeah, he doesn't like cannolis. He talked about that. But this is retarded. Do Italians think that they invented food? They always talk about food on these shows.
They act like it.
They really do. Yeah. People didn't eat food until Italians came around. Yeah.
Yeah.
We're the ones who figured it all out. Okay.
They know that they suck at everything else.
Maybe that's what it is. So weird. They always have to talk about food and whose Sunday gravy's the best. And
like, we are giant pieces of shit, but have you had the cannoli?
Here's another example of why you don't want a 9-year-old or however old this kid is as a guest on your show. He's talking about how he plays baseball. He plays in the outfield, which I played with a league. That's where they put the kids who suck.
Yep, that's where I was.
Throw them in the outfield because the ball ain't getting out there very often, so it doesn't matter.
On the Cubs, and I play center left.
Center left? You like the outfield?
Yeah, but I barely catch any ball.
Yeah, sometimes not too much.
He definitely
action.
runs them down, though.
Tell him what you're doing the outfield one before the.
I take.
So that's his dad yelling, giving him instructions. Tell him what you do in the outfield. Listen to this anecdote.
I take the dirt and I put it on the brim of my hat, and then I go like that.
Who fucking cares?
Thank you, Bonnie. What a horrible story that is. Tell him what you do when you're playing baseball. Oh, I put dirt on my hat. Okay.
Yeah, thank God pageant dad interjected there.
Yeah, right.
I mean, like, tell him the story you do about when you're in the. It's like, this is an awful.
Yeah. It reminded me of the South Park episode where all the kids hate playing baseball.
Oh, yeah.
And the dads make them play. Right. Like, this sucks. I just put dirt on my hat and hope the game ends sometime soon.
Yeah, where was the dad during Italian food?
Yeah, right. He probably didn't know more than 2 either. Yeah, there's spaghetti meatballs.
Hot dogs.
Chicken cutlet.
that Rocco even said chicken cutlet. That was one of the ones he threw out for the kid. He's just like, oh, yeah. He's like, how do you like your chicken cutlet? It's like, he didn't even bring it up. You did. Now you want details?
The Germans never made that.
No, it's not. Everyone hasn't figured that one out, obviously. So now Rizzler, they ask him, what does he want to be when he grows up? He wants to be a comedian.
What do you want to be when you're older? Have you ever thought of that?
You tell me all the time.
A comedian.
You're a comedian?
Wow.
Or actor.
You got somebody that'll bring you under their wing.
He's the #1 comedian in the world. Did you know that?
No.
He's #1 in the world.
Really?
Working hard, yes, but.
Mario's like, man, #1, look, top 10, sure, but #1,
yeah.
Come on. Yes,
look, these rankings are fluid. They change by the hour. We can't.
So I want to thank the great Reverend Shitstain who posted a bunch of links to Mario's stand-up. I thought we could watch it together since Patrick has some experience in stand-up comedy.
I dabbled.
You've dabbled. You had a whole contest at Hackamania. So maybe we can judge for ourselves Mario's stand-up.
The old stand.
Yeah, this is going back to the era before he was wearing the bow tie.
Yeah.
So it doesn't pack the same kind of punch that it does.
Pick the perfect size for me. What a crowd. I love you guys. Well, I mean, most of you. Let's not get crazy. I guess you're wondering who I am. Well, I'm what you get when your mother smokes 2 packs a day for 9 months. Okay? Just imagine if she would have drank 2. I would have ended up looking like the Jolly Green Giant's little pal Sprout.
Why? Why would alcohol turn you green? I'm confused. She smoked 2 packs a day for 9 months while she was pregnant.
I don't have time to elaborate.
Okay,
on it, but,
you're right. You're right.
Take my word for it.
Punchline's a punchline. I'll move on. My bad.
Also, you could still pass a sprout.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, good point. What are you going to for Halloween this year?
Now, speaking of smoking, I get a call from the Surgeons General asking me if they could use my photo on packets of cigarettes. They told me the slogan would be, "This is what you get when you smoke a few of these. Get the fuck out of here."
That was the punchline. The Surgeons General called him.
Mm-hmm.
They want to use his likeness.
Surgeons General.
Yep. They want to use his likeness on cigarettes. And he's like, "Get the fuck out of here." And he throws the Newports.
Joey Madras is taking notes.
Yeah.
This kid's got it.
Wow.
It makes no sense also because we don't put those pictures on our cigarettes.
No, not in this country.
So
it wouldn't be the Surgeons General, obviously.
It's just not a thing that exists. So
Right.
they didn't ask for that.
But use your imagination. Let's see.
Okay.
Maybe he's going somewhere with this.
He's setting something up.
Yep.
So, lately I've been thinking about becoming a vegan. Any vegans in the house? Wow. We're all vegans here. We're all steak and potato eaters. No, I really have been thinking, it's a health thing. So I picked out a date and circled it in my family calendar and put a large V on it. What is...
Okay, so this is wild because I watched a couple of his stand-up routines and one of them had this in it with a bunch of other material too. He talks about living with his mom a lot. This is a man who I think at this time was in his late 40s. And there's a lot of talk about being at home with his mom. And so he circled it in the family calendar and put a V when he was going to become vegan.
Circled it in my
How old is
family...
he?
In this, well, right now he's 51.
What the fuck?
You didn't know that? He's 51
I knew
years
he
old.
was like an adult.
He was born in 73. Yeah, he's old.
Isn't that Ray DeVito's?
Probably.
When Ray DeVito, isn't he 51 now? He
They
just turned
both get the same
51.
amount of pussy. So they have that in common.
I think Ray gets laid every once in a while.
Okay.
calendar and put a large V on it. What does my mother do? She makes me filet mignon for dinner. I said, "Ma, I don't eat meat no more." She explains to me, "Shut up and eat."
Because of Italian moms, am I right, people?
I said, "Ma, didn't you see the V on the calendar?" She answers me just like this. "Yes, I saw the V. I thought the V meant you finally lost your virginity." "So you said I made you a celebration dinner." "Well, then you should have made me a fucking rum roast and some kumquats if you wanted to get crazy."
I guess those are sexual sounding?
Sex words.
Sex words?
Cum.
Yeah.
Rump.
Good stuff.
Now Tom Myers is taking notes.
No, I want to know. I mean, all of us have lost our virginity at one time or another. Did you write it down ahead of time when you were going to lose your virginity?
Yeah, put a big V on the calendar.
Yeah, like, I think on the 15th this month.
I mean, to be fair, I think most guys had a million dates in the future they were hoping would be the day.
Sure.
Yeah, right.
Oh my God, unbelievable. I got a new manager. So he calls me up the other day, says to me, "Mario, how tall are you? How much do you weigh? What's the color of your eyes? What sex do you go by?" "What sex do I go by? What the fuck?" I was like, "Are you trying to book me a job or fuck me in the ass?"
See, now to your point earlier, Patrick, this could be his act.
Mm-hmm.
He could be a kid talking about having a manager, he's trying to fuck up, like his manager's a pedophile.
Right.
He's constantly running away from his manager, like, "Whoa, you're not going to get me this time."
Imagine what a brilliant act if he walked out in a little kid's suit, all untucked and the tie was loose.
Yeah.
And he's like, "You might recognize me from the Welch's grape commercial."
Right.
Like, "I just lost my manager. My parents divorced me." Like, if he just did it all from that point of view.
Yes.
Of this out of work actor kid and just talk shit about shows and the people on the show. You could make so much material out of that. It'd be so good.
But also, everyone's talking about the pedophilia going on in Hollywood. It's rampant. And so he could be leaning into that.
I've heard about that.
Have you heard about this? You guys hear about this? You guys see about this? About pedophilia going on in Hollywood. It's crazy.
Yeah, he doesn't have the brain to write the jokes.
Right.
It's unfortunately the Ray DeVito problem. It's just like these guys think they're good at stand-up and they're not good at stand-up, and I don't know where they got this idea, but they never explored anything else.
Well, hold on a second.
Now they're pigeonholed.
He said, maybe you missed it. He said rump roast and kumquats.
Oh yeah.
Those are the jokes about the losing his virginity.
I didn't hear the kumquat.
I take it all back.
I just got back from Hollywood. Hollywood. Get this. One day I was walking down Hollywood Boulevard and I saw some guy come out of the closet. Then he jumped back in. I guess that's why they call it La La Land.
What?
He has the delivery of Perry Caravello at the beginning of Windy City Heat.
Yeah.
He I just got back from Hollywood. Anyway, get this. A guy jumps out of the cab. And then it's just, there's no pausing. It's like...
So my doctor says I need to laugh more. So I went to a comedy club and got charged $45. So I don't feel bad. I got charged more. I asked the waitress, hey, why $45? She said, that's your copay.
Jesus Christ. That's as amateur as it gets right there. My doctor says I need to laugh more. See? What was this, 1948?
What the fuck? He was so disconnected. I didn't even.
I know.
If I was good, my dad would let me stay up late. We'd watch like Carlin or one of those great old HBO specials. Mm-hmm. And sometimes my mom would be in the room and she would always laugh at the wrong moment. Mm-hmm. And even as a kid, I knew that. I feel like Mario doesn't understand.
Right.
He's watched a million of these. He knows what the guy does with a mic, and he stands in front of bricks and says certain things in a certain way. He doesn't know what the fuck he's doing.
And some of the other comedy shows I was watching, he has kind of this Rodney Dangerfield thing where he doesn't get respect.
Yeah.
He's kind of got like that kind of swagger, but he doesn't really pull it off or understand why that's funny.
Right.
My doctor said I could jerk off anytime I want. No, he said I could have a stroke at any time. My doctor's crazy. Like, what?
People ask me, what is it like doing stand-up, right?
That's the second time he said X. I know. It's cultural appropriation. I just want to point it out right now. I mean, you're Italian. Come on.
So I say, okay, get me. I say it's like learning how to drive the car for the first time, and everyone is giving you different directions. Go left, no. Go right, no. And then all of a sudden, boom.
That's not what learning how to drive a car is.
No.
It's not how to get somewhere. It's how to fucking use a car.
Go back to talking about sex.
He doesn't know anything.
He didn't even mention the phone books.
Directions. Go left, no. Go right, no. And then all of a sudden, boom. You get into your first accident. And you haven't even left the parking spot yet. You know what? Anybody loves to fly over here? Besides drive a car, but fly, traveling by plane? I love
You mean not flapping your wings?
We were talking about driving a second ago.
Jeff Goldblum movie. Anybody else like to fly? Yeah, I like that flick.
Yeah, sure.
Everybody else love airports? Yep, sure do.
I think it was called Airplane.
How about connections? Anyone excited about getting their connection in an airport? Yeah, you got it, Mario.
Who else uses baggage on the road?
You live the same life that I do, buddy. Totally relate to you in every way.
Totally relatable.
I got to hear the setup I got. This is great. Right from the getting in an accident in your parking spot to this.
And boom! You get into your first accident. And you haven't even left the parking spot yet.
Oh, I know it.
You know what? Anybody loves to fly over here? Besides drive a car, but fly, traveling by plane? I love to fly.
Wow. He got real flustered on that one. He didn't know what he was talking about.
LA, all over the place, but I hate fucking baggage claim.
Dude, don't even get me started on baggage claim. All right, you go, Mario. You go. What do you got?
I wasn't sure where he was going.
Yeah, this is going to be good. This is going to be spicy. Forget about the peanuts on the plate. I don't like those either, but let's get to the baggage claim. All right.
I'm especially coming home on a red eye at 7-something in the morning because your bags never come. Okay, it's the merry-go-round of hell, and then there's that one bag that goes around and around and around, and you know I think of it's like a piece of shit in your toilet that you keep. I would love to take that lucky chandler by the neck. And I don't.
What kind of toilet is he using? A urinal? Can't get a turd down?
It's just a bowl.
Yeah, it's one of those fake toy ones.
My first toilet.
Fisher Price.
That's ridiculous. I like that he says, because he's trying to relate to the everyman. He's like, you know, like you take the red eye and then your bag's never there. So I've flown 100 times. My bags have gotten lost, I think, twice, maybe once.
Couple.
Yeah, it's like, they're never there, you know? It's crazy. Okay.
To throw him down the lucky shooter, and I love to watch him going around and around and around. And I love to tell him to go fuck himself. Because I'm sitting there waiting like this. Guy goes, you looking for your bag? No, I'm standing there for to give you my ice cream guy. Get the fuck out of here.
Whoa, all right.
I don't know how he didn't make that joke immediately flip the point of view of it to he's in the bag and that's how he flies. Like,
there
you know that bag, bag that's going around and around and around. I hate it when my friends forget to pick me up at the airport. Like, there's a million good jokes there.
That's hilarious. All right, well, that's the comedy stylings of one Mario BOSCO.
51.
Yeah. So now they ask the Rizzler if he has jokes because he wants to be a comic.
Rizzler, you ever been laid?
I hope you guys aren't tired of laughing yet because we got more jokes coming our way.
Why can't the skeleton go to the party?
Because he's dead already?
No.
All right, Mario. Why would you think that's a punchline? Because he's dead already? Does that sound like a punchline to that setup? Why did the skeleton go to the party?
It's not a riddle.
Mario clearly doesn't like the Rizzler getting attention.
He also doesn't understand how humor works.
Well, yeah,
he clearly doesn't understand how joke structure works.
But the Rizzler does.
Because he's dead already. No, the skeleton's alive. Stay with me here.
right. Keep up.
Why can't the skeleton go to the party?
Because he's dead already?
No.
Because he had no body to go.
Oh, I like that. Oh, that was good. Mario's going to use that in his next show.
Why couldn't the skeleton go to the party? Permits? Just practical answers.
He had a meeting in the morning. Yeah, he had a pretty big meeting in the morning, but he was still going to go.
Wouldn't fit in the truck.
All right, here's some more jokes. These guys keep egging this on. It's like they're trying to scare people away from their show. I don't know if someone watches this and goes, Growing Up Italian is now in my rotation of podcasts that I check out.
Another one? You got a couple in your back pocket?
What did the plate say to the other plate?
What did the plate say to the other plate?
Catch you later.
No.
What'd he say?
Said dinner's on me.
Oh! I don't know.
Okay.
Did Mario just say I'm hungry? He tried to come up with the punchline on that.
Or he's just hungry.
Oh, yeah. Let's listen to this thing. What did the plate say to the other plate? Dinner's on me. Okay. That's the joke. What does Mario think it's going to be?
What'd he say?
Said dinner's on me.
Oh!
I mean,
Wait, did he say we're a couple of plates here?
What, we got a table or something? The other guy, I mean, both of their responses to this, like, just let the joke play out. Why are you trying to predict it? It's not how, what does he say? I'll catch you later? That's also really stupid. Hold on. Let me hear this again.
What did the plate say to the other plate?
Catch you later.
What does he think? It's frisbees? What is he talking about?
Could be.
What'd
he say?
Said dinner's on me.
Oh! I don't know.
Okay. Where do cows go for entertainment?
Oh, Rocco. What are you doing?
To the movies. I just thought of that on
Yeah. All right, that was kind of
Okay,
corny.
you got
right?
another one?
What is this garbage? How do they have a podcast? This is bullshit.
Yo, the movie. Like, what?
You know, I'm a sucker for backgrounds. I notice little things.
Mm-hmm.
And you go back to the Rizzler. I noticed in the background, it looks to me like unfolded Anthony's Woodfire pizza boxes is their sponsor.
Yes, it is their sponsor.
But
yes.
it looks like unfolded, you know, like when they're before they're folded up to put a pizza in. It looks like when they're flat shipped.
So okay,
do they just have pizza boxes unused? That's like decor for the.
I have a thought on this possible scenario. Anthony's is the restaurant. They're above. Anthony's is downstairs.
Okay.
They're on the second floor.
Dry storage.
And this is their dry storage area.
Okay.
Maybe that's what it is.
Because they say it's a sponsor.
Yeah. Can we do the podcast upstairs? They're like, yeah, I guess.
Can you fold some boxes while you do it?
Can you guys fold boxes?
All right. So this, for some reason, Rocco is starting to irritate me now more than anyone else. He's getting on my nerves. I don't know what he's trying to do here. He pulls out a ukulele.
I agree. Tukey's the worst.
No, not that Rocco. It's a lot of shitty Roccos in this world. He pulls out a ukulele and he can't play the ukulele. So I'm not sure why he does this.
And we got the Rizzler on the show. The Rizzler on the show. We're gonna have a damn good time. Hey. We got the Rizzler on the show. What? Rizzler on the show.
Rizzler.
What? We're gonna have a grand old time. Everybody.
You know, for a guy who's in show business, he doesn't understand how music works or comedy or anything.
Right.
Rizzler on the show.
Yeah.
Rizzler on the show. When Rizzler's gonna have a good time. Hey. You got the Rizzler on the show. Rizzler on the show. We're gonna have a grand old
time with the Rizzler.
Well,
why did he do that?
I don't know, but Mario's amazing.
In what way?
Okay.
Instinctually.
The Rizzler's telling Bazooka Joe jokes.
Yes.
And he's trying to guess the answer. He just
Right.
And he whips out a ukulele, sings off key, and it's a terrible song, and he just starts clapping arrhythmically and trying to guess what the next line is.
And then the Rizzler starts flopping.
And Rocco starts jangling keys.
Yeah.
But you're right. How did this guy even get a ukulele? He's literally like, you know, when I go to a concert, it looks like they just pick it up and do this. And
Right.
then
He's just open string strumming it. It's not even a chord or anything. He's like, what are you doing?
So yeah, I think you're right. I think this is like all decor and props from the restaurant.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like somebody might know how to play this. And they used it for something. Pineapple on the pizza night, Hawaiian crossover, Italian.
You're making some sense.
You know, I don't know.
Yeah, they're just picking up whatever's fucking up there.
But yeah, that's what bored people do on podcasts. They just start reaching around the room and like, what about this thing? What could this be? It's like, all right.
I didn't even play
Carrot Top.
They were playing Disney songs. They had to guess what the song was.
Yeah, on their phones, like they would play, and they weren't playing Disney songs. Sometimes they were just playing like songs from the soundtrack, and you had to guess what it was from.
Yeah, they played
like,
Life is a Highway, which I guess is in the Cars movie, and they just had to know that or something.
Well, the Rizzler knew it.
But you're right,
Or
though.
maybe he didn't.
Patrick, I didn't pull this clip, but the guy goes, okay, we're going to play a game where you have to figure out what Disney song this is. And he's just on his phone, and sometimes it's near the microphone, and we can hear it, sometimes it's not. It's just like in the room. They're not playing it through the headphones.
So what's the producer doing? He can't play the song?
Right. He's breathing heavy, I guess.
He's
I guess
set a playlist up?
Sleeping, snoring. For some reason, you mentioned sponsors. There's 3 sponsors during this show. And the last one I was very confused by. Are you familiar with their sponsors at all, Chris?
No, sir.
Okay. I want you to
Are
watch
they
this.
Steel toe level.
Yeah, right. It's like you, it's so weird to me when you can have a sponsor that's located in a certain place and do a YouTube show, but it's not even New York. Like I would expect New York. Listen to this.
we're very excited to announce a long-term partnership with the Soto Gastronomia out from Australia. These guys got a really, really interesting restaurant concept where
They literally have an address in Australia, North Australia specifically, of where you can find this Italian restaurant that they're talking about. All right. Again, I'll let it play. Let's figure this out.
All their profits go to all these Italian charities.
Risotto has a very interesting story. So
all of their profits? It's a non-profit restaurant? How does that work? I've never heard of such a thing.
Well, the profit margins of restaurants are huge, dude.
That's correct. Yes.
Yeah.
The fuck are they talking about?
Where all their profits go to all these Italian charities.
Risotto has a very interesting story. So they're first generation Italian Australians.
They're basically us in Australia.
Risotto was created in their parents' and grandparents' honor so that they can pay their legacy forward. 100% of their proceeds goes to people in need, charities, and the arts.
DeSoto will be supporting us this year, so you know the content's going to be even better.
Bro, and who knows?
People in need, charity, and the arts. Just say charity.
Yeah.
Covers all those things. Oh, people in need and charity? Oh, good. I like both of those things.
And the arts.
DeSoto will be supporting us this year, so you know the content's going to be even better.
Bro, and who knows? Maybe at some point we're going to have to take a trip down under, huh?
I was always curious how the Italian Australians made food.
It's time we find out.
It's not like you can donate to their charity or help them. It's just a restaurant in this one location in North Australia that they're promoting.
I'm glad Tesoro is supporting him because that couch isn't. I mean, can you slump further down while you're doing an ad? Like, yo, we're very happy to present. Like, are you comatose?
Nowhere near the microphone. I've always said, and Patrick, I don't know if you'll agree with me on this. You can't sit on a couch and broadcast at the same time. It's not couches aren't conducive to broadcasting.
Did you see how uncomfortable Donald Trump was doing Flagrant? Andrew Schultz, he had to sit up and do his Trump, and then the collar's popping up. And it's like
I hate all those shows where everyone's just kind of because no one's comfortable, but they're pretending that they're super comfortable. Their legs up, and Andrew Schultz got his shoes off for some reason. You're just like, what are you doing? We're doing a show. There's 100,000 people are going to see this. Can we?
So how many people view that? You said 27,000 views on that?
Yes, that episode.
I mean,
I would imagine averaging 30 seconds.
Are fake?
I would imagine they average 30 seconds of view.
Well, what are the comments and the thumbs up like? I mean, does it match or is it suspicious? It seems weird. How could 27,000 people sit through that?
That's a great question. I didn't look to see what the stats were on it. I should have.
It feels opie-ish.
It does. This whole Growing Up Italian is a social media channel. They have an Instagram account, and there's a bunch of different people involved in it. And so I guess that they're from New York. They make references to the Brooklyn Bridge. There's a bunch of Joe Matarese people are just like, hey, look at I'm 93.7% Italian over here. You're like, oh, okay, cool.
I can see how people would watch reels and get little 45-second sound bites of these idiots and love it because it's like Dad or Cousin Vinny talks. It's like, but I can't imagine 27,000 views over 30 seconds of this show. Come on.
Right.
Who's watching this unironically going that was a good ep.
Yeah, and even in the description of the show, they're like, you're not going to want to miss this one. We got the Rizzler on here. Mario Bosco's on there. This is a must-watch Growing Up Italian. You're like, do you guys really think that? Or
And the way Mario sold it at the beginning, dude, when he was introducing the Rizzler, aka welcoming him, he was like, this show's crazy. This guy can't wait to get done. This guy says whatever. It's wild.
Yes. He has no idea. He's like, oh, you're not going to believe this podcast. We listen to Disney music. We dance in our seats. If he was honest about it, he'd be like, oh, I don't want any of this. This sounds terrible.
Right.
I try out jokes that I saw on Laffy Taffy. It's great.
Yep.
Where do Eskimos keep their money? Hold on. I got a bunch of them. Just you wait. It's great. It's fucking ponderous.
Where do they, for my ADD, where do they keep their money?
Snowbanks.
Oh, I didn't see that coming.
Fuck you. Fuck you.
Who are these podcasts?